I'm Emmer and I've been living with my dad alone since my mom died when I was 10. We loved her so much, so it was not easy for both me and my dad to get over the grief of my mom's death, but the time healed our pain little by little. Although we were only two of us, I was happy that my dad took care of me very well, and I'm grateful that we were quite wealthy too, because he was a successful investor, so we had more than everything we needed in our life, and we could live in a large house too. When I turned 17, my dad started dating a woman. Her name was Olivia, and apparently she was a waitress at a restaurant near his office. One day, my dad invited her to our house for dinner to introduce her to me. When I met her, I intuitively sensed that she does not love my dad, but she's just trying to suck up to my dad for his wealth. From then, my dad invited her every weekend and tried to get us along, but I never liked her. When I turned 18, I got a chance to study abroad for 1 year as a part of my university program. Only 1 week after I left my house, Olivia moved into my house in exchange. I'm sure she thought it was a golden opportunity to get even closer to him. When I came back 1 year later, Olivia was behaving as if it was her own house, and I even felt like I was an outsider. At the end of that year, my dad married Olivia. Since they got married, I could see that her attitude was getting very arrogant, and every time she got upset, my dad bought her expensive gifts to make half feel better. He was a very generous person, so he was trying his best to make Olivia happy all the time. But at the same time, he looked tired and become much thinner and looked older than his actual age. Long story short, he was getting sick, and he died when he was only 58. Of course, I was devastated and also hated Olivia more. After his funeral, we received my dad's will through his lawyer. I don't know how Olivia gained so much trust from him, but my dad left more than 80% of his heritage to Olivia. For me, he left me the rest of the heritage as well as the house with legal papers stating that it belongs to me. I actually didn't expect this at all, and I didn't know why he did this. It was easy to tell that Olivia was very upset that she didn't get the house. Especially our house is a 5 bedrooms luxury house situated on a high-end residential street, so it will be a huge profit if you saw it. After my dad's death, Olivia was trying to build a relationship with me for a little while by talking to me whenever she saw me in the house, while her artificial smile and friendness, but it was just very creepy and disgusting to me. Since she moved into our house, she has been behaving as if it is actually her own house, and despite the fact that the house legally belongs to me now, she continued to stay there. It was getting uncomfortable for me to stay in the house, so I focused on my university study. Luckily, I was very busy with my university as well as my part-time job, so I could stay away from my house for most of the day. But at the same time, her attitude was becoming more arrogant day by day, and she was acting as if she was the boss in the house. I eventually stopped caring about the fact that I legally owned the house, and I could guess that it was the same for her from her attitude. I think she might have been thinking that I will give out the legal ownership and transfer it to her eventually once I graduate from university and be financially independent. In fact, I was already supporting myself financially and never asked Olivia for any financial support at all, even though she obtained most of my dad's existing inheritance money. After only 4 months since my dad's death, Olivia started to date a new guy. I found this out by bumping into him when I went home just to pick up some textbooks that I had left behind me in my room. Olivia seemed to be a little panicked, but quickly introduced him to me with her artificial smile. I thought it was already discussed with her fake smile, but what made me even more sick was he was only 3 years older than me. His name was Anthony. He was always wearing punk-style clothes, a spiky hairstyle, and piercing on his nose, and apparently he doesn't have a job. I have no idea where Olivia met him, but it was obvious that he was with her for her money, which used to be my dad's money. One day when I came home after my part-time job, Olivia says she wanted to talk to me. She said me and Anthony are getting married. Of course, I love your father, but I can't be sad forever, so I need to move on. I smiled artificially and said, "Congratulations." I also told her that I'm graduating from my university next month, and I'd already got a job offer from a local company, so I'm planning to move out from the house soon. The moment I told that to her, I could See that she was trying to hide the excitement, but she said, "I'm happy for you. You are always welcome to visit here," with her usual artificial smile. Then she also told me that she and Anthony are planning to leave the country for wedding and honeymoon for a month, and she asked if I can look after the house for her during her absence. Why not? I would be happy to take care of the house, I immediately replied, and thought in my mind that now is a time for me to carry out my plan. Is there any better time than now? Now I will tell you the most exciting part of this story. In the following week, Olivia and Anthony left for their wedding and honeymoon adventure with excitement in the morning. Within the same day, I called up a few real estate agencies that I would like to list my house. Yes, my house. The advertisements were placed on their websites immediately. By the evening, I made a contract with a strange place for 3 months. Next morning, Nubarak that I booked the day before to take Libya's furniture and belongings. Of course, I kept everything that was originally bad before Olivia moved in. That afternoon, I already started to receive a lot of calls and emails from people who are interested in renting my house. By the end of the week, I've decided to rent a house to a lovely couple in their 60s. They just retired and they were looking for largely house to spend the rest of their life with some spare rooms when their married 2 daughters' families came over to stay with their 5 cute grandchildren. They looked very happy with the house as well as the location, and we made a race contract for them to move in just 1 week prior to Olivia's return date. I felt that they will take good care of my house, so I was also happy that this lovely couple will live in my house instead of Olivia. I contacted my lawyer, who I took over from my dad, and shared all the information, including Olivia Strange. I think I'm very generous that I paid for the stretch for 3 months, which is 2 months longer than their trip. I shared my lawyer's contact to the couple too, by explaining that my stepmother may claim that it is her house, but I have the legal ownership of the house, so in case Olivia gives any trouble to them, they can contact my lawyer. I changed all the locks of the house to get ready for the couple to move in, as well as to make sure that Olivia will not be able to enter the house even when she returns. Finally, I found a lovely apartment to live in, which was close to my new workplace. I was very excited to start my new life there. On the day I moved into the new apartment, I met a man who lives next door, and he helped me to move my stuff. We had dinner together that night, and we fell in love with each other right away. Now I've been with him more than 8 months, and we just got engaged. I'm truly happy now. Oh, do you want to know what happened to Olivia? I've heard through my lawyer that as soon as she returned and found out that I leased my house to a stranger, she got furious and went crazy. The couple immediately called the lawyer, and the lawyer explained to her everything, so she was appalled with her mouth open. After a while, I heard a rumor that Libya left the country with Anthony. I'm sure that they will use up all the money that she obtained from my dad, because all she can do is spend money, and she doesn't know how to harmony. If they run out of money, Anthony will leave her, and she will look for another wealthy guy to climb on, as she did to my dad. Me, I'm succeeding with my work and having a happy life with my finance. Even better, we are financially very stable by renting my dad's house now. I just realized that I have never given her a wedding gift. But then I rethought it again, and I think I gave her the best wedding gift, which is a life lesson for her. She never was independent, and all she did was to depend on my dad for his money and did not make any effort by herself. Now I think I finally understood why my dad gave Olivia the inheritance money. But let me inherit the house rather than the money, and I think this was a gift from my dad as a life lesson for me to be independent, and the path is something that you open up yourself.